Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we will be seeing another video of bishop's opening. So let's start the video. So it's e4, e5, bishop c4. Obviously that's why I call it a bishop's opening. So now black has played knight to f6, then d3, c6. Okay, this c6 variation is a new one. Okay, c6 variation because black wants to push the pawn to d5 and get a central square. Okay, get some central access for the pawns. Okay, so c6. So white has played f3, knight to f3. Now you see, as black's plan, d5. Now white has played bishop to b3. Okay, in order to save it. Another variation is that this pawn can capture, then the c pawn will capture, then bishop to b3. But it is not good for white. Okay, you see that black is having all the central squares under his control. Okay, under his control. You see, under his control. So that's not good for white. So in order, you see, then it will give a check. Okay, then defended by the pawn. It will go back. Then bishop will play to g5. Then bishop to e6. Okay, this is a very good structure for black. Okay, so in order to avoid that, so here white has played bishop to b3. Okay, bishop to b3, so that let black capture. Okay, let black capture, then white will capture. Okay, let black capture, then white will capture the same. So now black has played bishop to g4. Okay, in order to pin this knight, so that after that he can capture this pawn. Okay, after that he can capture this pawn easily. One thing, just notice, if you see that, okay, if black captures now, okay, if black captures now, what would happen? Okay, it white can go and attack this pawn. Okay, white can go and attack this pawn. And okay, let's suppose black defends like this, then exchange, then he can capture this pawn. He can capture this pawn, or he can capture this pawn also. But yeah, this pawn is much more useful. Now, if knight captures, pawn captures, the queen captures. Now you see, okay, this position is almost equal. You can see that, okay, white is having one pawn extra. Okay, one pawn extra. But these are two same, isolated pawns. Okay, these both are isolated double pawns. So this can easily be captured. Okay, by the knight, or you can, after the rook joining the party, it can easily capture. Okay, so here it's both are equal. Okay, the game can continue like this way also. But in the real game, uh, the black has played bishop to g4. Okay, black has played bishop to g4. Okay, now queen is defending this pawn so that the knight cannot capture the extra pawn. Now black has played. Now black has captured easily. Then queen has captured. Pawn captured. Pawn captured. Now uh, knight b to d7. Why knight b to d7? Because now it wants, this is a good square for the knight and the bishop. Okay, so black wants this square to be under his control. So for now white, its castling is the best. Okay, then black played knight to c5. Now you see knight to c5. Okay, now after playing this, you should get a sense. Okay, like black is not castled yet. Okay, black is not castled yet. I have two attackers, and this is also joining the attack. Is there any possibility, now your brain should function like this way? Okay, now is there any possibility that, okay, can I go for attack, or I can break the center? Okay, this thing should come after seeing this position. Now the game continues, and if the knight captures this bishop, okay, this will be good for white because white pawn will capture and it will give an open file for the rook. Okay, so black should not capture this bishop. Okay, although this is a strong bishop, this is also a strong knight. Okay, both are good pieces. So the game continues. Knight to c3, developing the pieces, and also you see this both are attacking this pawn. Okay, this pawn also need to get defended. Okay, Next, now you see this pawn on b5. Okay, black is pawn on b5. Why it has played pawn on b5? Now it want to attack the queen side. Queen, or it want to attack the queen side. But before castling, it is going for an attack. This is bad for black. Before castling, black should have castled. Then he can go for an attack on the queen side. Before castling, it is coming. Black's plan is that, okay, after pushing this pawn, if the knight moves, then he can capture this pawn on e4. This is black's plan. Okay, so the game continues. So you see these two knights are attacking, so we need to remove one of the knight. So black has also white has also developed his pieces, bishop to e3 and attacking the knight. So a4. Okay, now you see it is planning to trap the bishop also. It is planning to trap the bishop also, because bishop is not having any good square to go. Okay, so as per white's plan, okay, first of all he has exchanged the bishop with the knight. So black has played bishop into c5. Now a4. Okay, stopping this idea of pushing, so that the black cannot push a4. Now you see that after playing a4, okay, black can capture this pawn. Okay, but it will give an advantage for the white only, right? It will give an advantage for the white only. Even you can see that, okay, he can push this pawn also. Okay, he can push this pawn. That is also a possibility. If he push this pawn, my question is to you: if he push this pawn, then what should white play? Of course, he should remove the knight. But which is the good square? This square, this square, or this square? What should white play? Okay, you comment down below. Okay, you comment down below that after uh, b after b4 comma knight should play to this or this or this or this, anywhere what you feel like. Comment down below. So now the actual game goes like bishop to d4. Okay, why bishop to d4? Okay, first of all it wants to attack this knight, and after this exchange, okay, so that the queen can develop. The queen can develop. So black's plan is like this. Okay, not clear yet, because black has not castled. Remember this, black has not castled. So the game goes a into b5. Now bishop to b6. Okay, queen to b6. Now here you see that, okay, queen to b6 also possible, and also bishop into c3 is also possible. Okay, these two variations are there. Okay, I'll show you both the variations. First of all, let's see bishop into c3. What will happen? You see this pawn, it can easily capture this pawn. Okay, if I capture, it can capture this pawn, and it will be having a queen side majority of the pawns. But he can capture the queen also, right? Queen into c3. Queen into c3. Now, if c into b5, then queen into e5 check. Okay, you see that black has not castled, so there is always a threat. Queen to e7 in order to have those castle rights. So queen to e7. Now capturing the other pawn. Queen into b5. Queen d7. Okay, now it's a completely lost position for the white, for the black. King is not castled. Nothing. There is nothing left now. Okay, you see the strong pawns will all march forward, and this is also weak pawn. Just double down the rooks and capture it. In the actual game, it goes like queen to b6. Okay, queen to b6. Because you see this pawn is already lost. Okay, this pawn is already lost. So pawn into c6, into c6. Now you see, now you should castle. Okay, now you should castle. If it is not castled, for example, if it captures the pawn, then another brilliant move for white. Can you guess? Another brilliant move. It's bishop to a4, pinning the queen. See, because the black has not castled, so many problems, so many possibilities. So always remember to castle. As soon as you have the time and the right moment, you definitely castle. Okay. So black has played here in the actual game, castle. Now knight to d5. Okay, attacking the queen as well as the knight. If if this bishop captures this b2, okay, bishop captures this b2. then knight into f4, knight into f6, pawn captures, then it's completely win for the white, nothing left. It's completely win. This pawn is also on the 6th rank. Okay, in actual game, so knight into knight, e into d5. Now bishop into d2. Okay, now bishop into d2. Now, of course, good. Now rook is threatened. So rook a d1. Now bishop to d4. Again, went to the same place, and this is the safe place and the central squares. Now you see these are the connected pawns. These are the connected pawns. Also, the pawn is on the 6th rank. This is a huge advantage for the white. Now you, whenever there is a pawn on the 6th rank, you should find a way to push it. Okay, now also you have a support of the another pawn. So you have to find a way to push it. Can we push this pawn now? Of course we can push because this pawn is already defended. Correct? So white plays pawn to d6. Now in order to defend, okay, in order to defend, queen, you see both are marching, okay. Also of also you see one thing. Also now the queen is also under attack because knight will bishop will capture this pawn on f7 and it will give a discovered check to the queen. That's why this queen has also to stop this marching forward. So black has played queen to d8. Now, we should not run and push the pawns. Okay, you see both the pawns are connected and also on the 6th rank. Now we should bring more defenders for the pawns. So best is queen to d5. Okay, queen to d5. The rook also cannot move, or else it will give a check. Okay, then black has played a4. Okay, trying to do some counterplay, but c7. c7 is a very good move. Now you see my pawn is on the 7th rank, 7th heaven, and the queen is also attacked. So queen has two possibilities, either this or this. In actual game, it was played f6. Now I will show you the another variation. Why not d7? Okay. First of all, see why not d7. d7 is also almost lost because now you see we have to attack the queen. Simple. Play bishop to c4. Now rook a to c8. Now bishop to b4, b5. See. Now where should this queen go? f5. Okay. For example, f5. We simply push the pawn. See, d8. Now you should not capture the rook. Okay. No need to capture the rook. You have a whole queen up. Whole queen up. Get back safe. Okay. Take your queen safe position. Now it's a completely winning position. Nothing left. In actual game, the black played queen to f6. Okay. Bishop to c4. Again the same plan. Okay. Again the same plan. So this is the game. This is an old game of the British Open only. Okay. So if you have liked the video, do like, subscribe to my channel. Thank you.